Project Kashmir looks at the conflict over Kashmir through the eyes of co-directors Sanan Keshki and Geeta Patel. They both were raised in the U.S., but Keshki's family is Pakistani Muslim. Patel's family is Indian and Hindu.
When we first started making this film, we had no intention of being characters in it. Our number one goal was to create a film that would impact our community and create dialogue because there was such a divide between Indians and Pakistanis.
The two borrowed a few $1,000s and traveled to the Kashmiri region where India administers a majority Muslim population.
So Geeta being Indian and me being Pakistani, we thought that if we go together we could probably ask questions in Kashmir because it's a place that our countries have been fighting over for 60 years.
We can't fully understand a conflict zone by reading about it or watching the news. We want to understand the Kashmiri people, what their lives are like, what they want.
Project Kashmir follows Keshki and Patel as they seek to understand the conflict through the eyes of ordinary Kashmiris. They include two journalist friends, one a Kashmiri Muslim, the other a Hindu whose family was driven out of Kashmir decades ago. It is a friendship severely strained by the conflict. The two filmmakers say that as they became closer to these Kashmiris, they were surprised to find themselves also at odds.
We found ourselves falling into some of the prejudices or some of the ideas that we didn't talk about because being in America, we could just be friends and not have to talk about the politics.
And all of a sudden, Sanan was Pakistani, I was Indian, and personally I found myself aligning more with the Indian point of view.
I mean, it's funny, it's like our friendship became kind of a metaphor for the two countries. But if you just stop talking to each other, then how are you ever going to move forward?
The two worked through their differences in part because they saw the film as just the beginning of a conflict resolution effort among South Asians in the U.S.
It's day one of what we've always dreamt of, which is getting this out to these divided communities. Unlike Israel and Palestine, there is not dialogue over Kashmir.
Patel and Keshki say they continue to feel whipsawed by the latest news from the region, and at the same time inspired by the Kashmiri friends whose own lives have been torn by violence.
If they weren't there fighting for the things that they're fighting for, just relationships, friendships, the value of our communities living together, then if they weren't there and people like them, then I wouldn't have hope.
Project Kashmir was filmed by Academy Award winner Ross Kaufman. In addition to the traveling Human Rights Watch Film Festival screenings around the U.S. over the next 7 months, it will be shown on U.S. public television.